funny. You look funny, my love. Just something that I need to do. Some days, you guys, I honestly just feel like a dried up sponge. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. We are going to be talking about Get Your Shit Together November. So what is Get Your Shit Together November? That is the point of this video. I want to introduce it to you guys. It is something that I hold, oh wow, something I hold very near and dear to my heart that of course I want to bring you guys in on. So let's talk about it. Get Your Shit Together November is something that I invented when I was in university. I invented it because November was always the time where it was like right after midterms, or some midterms were kind of like scraggly and approaching. You're tired, there was a time change, it sucks outside, it's disgusting, like cold weather, dark, and you're just starting to lose your motivation. Also in university, around Halloween was the time of a lot of parties. You know, September was a lot of fun, and then October you're kind of getting things together, but you're still having fun, and like, I don't know, I was just always finding myself that like by the end of October, I was just like, oh my God, I need to get my shit together. So it started out where I would invent these things called GYSTWs, which was Get Your Shit Together Week. And then one year I decided I need a whole month. And so it was going to be GYSTN. And I would joke around with my friends, we would put hashtag GYSTN. And then every year since then, I just kept doing it. I would say it started in probably the second year of university, which means that I've been doing this for 6 years now, which is crazy. Now, some years I go all out for Get Your Shit Together November, and some years I don't. Last year I didn't, or I totally would have talked about it on YouTube, but this year I am ready to go all in because I'm being proactive and thinking about what I want to do, what I want to accomplish, what I want the purpose or the intention of this Get Your Shit Together November month is ahead of time. So I wanted to film this early and make sure I could get it up right at the beginning of November for you guys, because obviously I want you to do it with me. I want us all to like set intentions, be our best selves for November, and I really want this to be genuine. I don't want this to be a source of like fake motivation or like toxic positivity or anything like that. I just want this to be a genuine way that we can all come together and feel like we're doing something for ourselves and feel like we're kind of getting our shit together and having fun while doing it. So I wrote some notes on my phone. I thought in this video it would be helpful for me to talk about what my goals for this Get Your Shit Together November are, and then some other options that could be fun for you guys to check out, because obviously everybody's different. We don't all need to have the same goals. Now, just to start, if you don't watch this whole video, I just want there to be like a number one takeaway from this. And I've always found that the best way to get my shit together is to start in the morning and to do something for myself. Do one thing for myself every single day, and it's always easiest if you do it in the morning. And this just sets the foundation for the rest of your day and is so, so helpful, and I think really crucial for success of any type of Get Your Shit Together, and then especially for Get Your Shit Together November. So this could be anything like waking up and meditating. I don't do that, but I wish I did. Waking up and going for a walk, waking up and reading or journaling, which is what I personally like to do. I feel like it's really accessible. For me, it's just something that I like to do. So I'm gonna show you guys my 2 journals. I use the 5-minute journal, and I've been using this for a long time. And I remember I have pictures that I would post on my Instagram story of like, happy Get Your Shit Together November. And it was like me using my 5-minute journal while I was still in school. So longtime fan of the 5-minute journal. If you're not really into journaling, this is an awesome way to start. I've kind of fallen off doing this just because I feel like I do my regular journal, but I want to get back into it. So I am going to be making it a habit, especially for Get Your Shit Together November, and then carry it on with me to get back into doing my 5-minute journal. Now, if you don't want a journal with prompts, you know, we always love a blank journal. That is my favorite way to journal. This is just a big notebook from Indigo. And reading is so fun, and fall is totally the season of like getting cozy and reading. So I wanted to share with you guys my current read, which is Harry Potter. I am rereading the series because I never actually finished it. I never read book 7. So I'm starting back at number 5. It's such a big book. But when I open this book, it just brings back like so much comfort and nostalgia. So it's obviously perfect for fall. And yeah, it's just like a nice thing to do for yourself morning, afternoon, night, whenever you need a break to read. So those are just some ideas that are really easy for everyone to implement. Hopefully you're already feeling inspired. And now with that being said, we'll talk about my goals, and then I'm gonna give you guys some ideas for your own afterwards. Okay, these are pretty much in order of priority, I think. At least the first one is. So number one is financial shape. I want to get my finances into a better shape. Now, if you guys have been following along my monthly money updates, you know I'm kind of like this. And lately I've been a little bit down, and I just really want to finish this year on a good note. I'm going to do a video solely dedicated to this, solely dedicated to where I am now and what my goals are to finish the year financially. So look out for that video if that interests you. But getting into financial shape, clearing myself of debt before the new year, that is all just so important to me and is really my number one priority for November. And what that really comes down to is getting my spending in check, spending way less, staying in more, not eating out, all of that stuff during the month of November. Okay, number two is something that's been bothering me for a while, but I've never really taken action in it. And I was thinking about it yesterday because, yeah, it's just something that I don't know, I've always gone on and off with it, and that is gut health. So I've always felt like I have certain intolerances to food, and those intolerances that I feel that I have are grains or like wheat, white bread, I don't know specifically, and also dairy. And I love both of those things. So it's never been something that I really wanted to cut out. And then I've gone back and forth with, you know, times when I've been eating a lot of that stuff and I just feel very sluggish and rather unhealthy and I'm very bloated. And then times when it's only affected me on more of an aesthetic level and not loving the way my body looks. Now, lately it's been more back to that like physical discomfort. And so I was talking with my boyfriend about it because he's really into like nutrition and all of that. And he was like, it's not that big of a deal. Just like cut out some of the foods that you like. And I'm like, but no. And he was like, yeah, but like it's worth it. So I don't know, just having had that conversation with him kind of opened my eyes and made me feel like, okay, maybe I can do it. And like, since he's so healthy, I feel like he would be a good accountability partner to do it. So I don't know. Basically, I just kind of want to get to the bottom of it, not necessarily be super strict and cut everything out, but just pay more attention to what I'm eating and how my body reacts, and stay super, super up to date with my probiotics, making sure I'm taking those every day and also drinking lots of water, because I feel like those two things will help immensely with that as well. Okay, number three is to survive the time change. Now, for those of you on the East Coast, you probably all know, unless you're like in the southern East Coast because you guys have nice weather, but we have a time change and then it gets super dark, super early. It's just dark all the time. All you want to do is hibernate. And a lot of people, myself included, suffer from bouts of depression around this time, sadness, low productivity, low motivation, and it's so hard. Now, last year, the time change hit me so hard because we were in a really deep lockdown. We had a curfew. It was horrible, horrible times. And this year, I think I'm in a much better place mentally, as well as just, you know, the rules are loosened. We're allowed to see our friends. There's no curfew. And so I want to survive this time change. I don't want to get as depressed as I got last year. It was horrible. I really want to stay sort of happy and motivated and just as best as I can. I feel like it's such a sad way to live, and it makes me really sad when I think about, like, you know, every year we live in darkness for so many months, and like the effect that it has on my mood and on a lot of people's moods. It's just like, why do we live here? Like, you can really go down a dark spiral, and often I do. And so I just want to try and make this time change as positive as possible. Just keep on enjoying life, not let the time change get me down. Obviously, there's a certain natural element to it, right? Like, there's nothing I can do really about the sunlight, but just to do everything in my power to stay positive this time change, stay talking to friends and family, keep using my sunlight, that helps me a lot, take vitamin D, things like that are gonna be really important. So I'm just gonna interject quickly because I feel like, you know, the time change is one that a lot of people can relate to, and the gut health one is one that maybe not everybody can relate to. So just to, you know, remember that when you're when you're thinking about this and when you're watching this video, keep in mind that your goals don't have to be my goals, mine don't have to be yours. They can really be super personal, and they should be super personal. Okay, number 3 is to continue to excel at work. So you guys know I've received a bit of negative feedback at work, or like, you know, constructive feedback, like things I need to work on. I've put a lot of those things into play and I've gotten some really good feedback, and I just want to keep building on that momentum. So, you know, when you receive good feedback in the moment, it feels really amazing. And then from there, you kind of have two choices. You can say, okay, I'm doing good, I can chill. Or you can say, I'm doing good, let me keep doing better. And that's the attitude I want to have. Let me keep doing better. Now, it feels good to do good. That's like the number one thing of it all for me, is just like, it feels good to do good. Number two is I work at a really small company, so everything I do is seen. It's rewarded, but it's also called out when things are not great. So just to save myself from being called out when it doesn't feel, and that doesn't feel good, you know, to keep doing well. Also to contribute to the success of a small company feels really, really rewarding. And last of all, doing well is what allows you to move up in your career and allows you to make more money, etc. And let's be real, that's important to me. So for all of those reasons, I want to keep excelling at my career. Next up is YouTube. So I just really want to keep getting in the flow of YouTube. I'm on a roll of kind of posting twice a week now, and I just really want to keep that momentum up. Get your shit together November, going all in on YouTube and just balancing it and making it work. And I think that going all in on YouTube as well is going to contribute to helping survive the time change, because it's going to give me something fun to look forward to. Is it just me, or am I talking really fast? Like, oh my gosh. Okay, the last thing that I wrote down is a healthy balance of socializing plus time to myself. Now, I think I'm an extrovert, but if I spend too much time around people, I get so anxious and so down on myself, and I see that I'm putting my own goals and my own priorities on the back burner, whether that's financial goals because I'm going out and I'm spending a lot of money, whether that's things like YouTube and I'm like not uploading to YouTube or not editing videos because I'm going out. Too much socializing has a negative impact on my life, and it also can tire me out. I think that's the case for a lot of people. Now, too much alone time can also lead to me feeling kind of depressed and feeling lonely. So it's all about finding that right balance, and it's something I've been pretty bad with lately. And lately it's been not spending too much time alone, but rather spending too much time with others. It's just been like so hard to say no. If a friend asks me to hang out, I always say yes. I always have my calendar just packed. I never have a night to myself. And at the end of it all, that doesn't feel good. And sometimes when you're with your friends, you're not being super present because you're just like socially burnt out. So I just want to keep an eye on my calendar, make sure that every week I'm making time for myself. And I know that that is going to feel really, really good. So those are all my Get Your Shit Together November goals. They're all like kind of intertwined. And so I think they're all just moving towards this common goal of like feeling good, feeling like I'm doing well at work and in my passions and in my social life. And really, what more can you ask for? So on that note, I wanted to share a few of my ideas of things I've done in the past and ideas for goals that you guys could set for Get Your Shit Together November. Okay, so number one is for my viewers who are in school. I feel you. School is so hard. Maybe you love school, but school's so hard. So what I would always use November for and Get Your Shit Together November is getting on top of my assignments, maybe even getting ahead with some assignments. Also studying, making sure I'm up to date with all of the chapters and all of the assignments, following, you know, that calendar and the syllabus. And then I would also set goals for exams, set goals of a grade that I wanted to achieve. Now, if that motivates you, then do it. But at a certain point in university, that stopped motivating me, because if I didn't hit the goal, I would be like so hard on myself and so disappointed. So if you're someone like that, don't do that. Like, don't set yourself up for disappointment, but just take this month to really focus in on your studies, and you're gonna feel so good for it after. Another goal I wrote could be applying to jobs. Maybe you know that you want a new job. Maybe you just graduated and you're kind of waiting to find that job. Maybe you're ready to find your dream job, but it can be, you know, a hassle to apply for jobs. It can be daunting and you can feel that fear of rejection. So make a plan for November to apply for new jobs, because you never know. People are wrapping up their budgets at the end of the quarter. So you might see a lot of new jobs coming up now or even in the new year. So maybe you're not applying for jobs, but you're fixing up your resume and you're getting ready to apply for jobs. That is such an awesome and productive use of your time. Okay, I love this one. Get ready to negotiate a raise. So the books will close at the end of Q4 in December, and in January, that's when it's a great time to negotiate a raise. Obviously, you need to think about your own organization and the way that they do their budgets, because it could be completely different. But I think in the month of November and even over the holidays, this is a great time to reflect on what you've contributed to your job and to your company and get ready to ask for a raise. Of course, there are fitness goals. I don't need to elaborate on that. Savings goals, like I mentioned, if you want to set a specific number of money that you want to save or money that you want to put aside. Other things could be things like eating more greens, and lastly, drinking more water, which is something that I need to do. Some days, you guys, I honestly just feel like a dried up sponge. So what do you guys think? That's that for Get Your Shit Together November. I really hope you will join me. I feel like you could tell from the tone of this video that I'm just very excited, so passionate about Get Your Shit Together November. Let me know in the comments what some of your goals are going to be. I really, really hope you're joining me, and I'll see you all in my next video.